Good evening, Pepper Lovers community. It's Pepper Wolverine, sporting off a shirt I made for myself. Graphics compliments of Jesus Rosario, another fellow member, with my mystery Hobbs mystery pepper in the background. But that's not why I joined you here on this video, since it's been a little while since I've done a pod review. What I have here is a new pod I've never tried before from Gage Hymus, one of our fellow members here on the PLC. Something called a Skunk Red. It's a relatively newer pepper on the scene, a cross between an M.A. Wartrix and a 7-pot Cardi. Apparently this is supposed to be pretty gnarly, pretty hot. It looks like it. I mean, it's got a nice little protrusion to it, pretty bumpy, nice red color to it. I've had it sitting in the fridge since I received it about almost a week and a half ago, and just been trying to work through some other pods and get to this one. I figured haven't done a review in a little bit, so I would review this one, and we'll see what it's all about. It's supposed to be pretty darn hot. We'll see. I don't know. You can see it's pretty good shape. It's about an inch and a quarter, an inch and 3/8 long, about 1 inch wide. So it's not a huge pod, but for a super hot, it's a relatively good size. As usual, I've got my trusty pepper knife that Aaron Hernandez gave me, and I just cut through this, sliced it in half, and you can see there's a decent amount of juice on it. It's got a typical Chinese aroma on it. We'll see. Not a whole lot of placental tissue in this one. A little bit, but not a whole lot. I hope I'm trying a different camera angle here. In terms of the placental tissue, not a whole lot, but there's definitely a lot of oil on the inner walls. And that little bit that I licked off the knife is starting to give me an indication of what I might be getting myself into eating this pepper. Definitely a 7-pot type aroma to it. Floral. And this one's actually slightly fruity. Has actually a pretty pleasant aroma. Not a whole lot of seeds in it. Relatively medium thin walled pepper. But as I continue to move this pepper around, I can see the oils moving around inside the walls. I don't know anything else about it except for what a link Gage gave me, that it's a, like I said, a M.A. Wartrix from Matthew Arthur, crossed with a 7-pot Cardi strain, which means it should be of premium genetics, and something that should be pretty darn hot. I don't know if I should just Wolverine it or take it easy, but I guess since I busted out my new t-shirt, I should probably just Wolverine it. So let's Wolverine it and see. We'll wing it from there. Immediately floral on the biting down, chomping into it. Very floral. But I'm not the biggest fan of floral. Let's see if that subsides before the heat kicks in, because I know the heat's going to kick in quickly. Kind of like my Hobbs mystery pepper. That heat kicks in so quick, I don't even know if I know what flavor it has. I've tried preparing reviews for that twice and can't do it. I'm thinking I might regret eating that whole darn pepper. We'll see. But I am the Pepper Wolverine, and I have a stainless steel stomach, so that's part of my Hobbs genetics. We all have stainless steel stomachs. It's a blessing and a curse. Sometimes when you like to have a weaker stomach to feel better, you don't. Yeah, this is an extremely floral pepper. Excuse me for cleaning out some of the sides of my mouth. Heat's already starting to kick in. The stinging of the Wartrix genetics is already starting to work around the exterior of the mouth, attacking the outsides of the tongue, roof of the mouth. A great amount of heat in this pepper. I think it's going to make me sweat here in a minute or two as it continues to build. This might be one of those peppers where I wish I actually had some water to rinse the mouse with, but I don't typically drink anything during my pepper reviews just to not skew it or anything like that. So heat's building. All of a sudden it's attacking the sides of my tongue. Oh yeah, that's a ferocious heat. It's a mean heat actually. But it's a really, really floral. A hint of fruit to it, but more floral than anything. And an extreme amount of heat. This is definitely up there with some of the hottest of the hot peppers. Good thing about it, it's not attacking the throat so much, which none of us really enjoy that much. I mean, that's not the sign of an enjoyable pepper, when it just attacks you so much you can't swallow or you go into panic mode or things like that. I can see where this pepper might send some normal people into panic mode. It's hot. It's building and building and building. And now it is starting to come down the esophageal tube, coming into the throat. Thinking I should have ate half that pepper instead of the whole pepper, but I think I put a good base in the stomach to not be too terribly off later on, but you never know with some of these peppers. It's making me salivate like crazy. Like I bit into some citrus fruit, which obviously I didn't. Starting to attack the lips. The more I breathe, if I take a deeper breath and expose my mouth to air, oxygen, opening up some of the pores, it's kind of exfoliating the flavor of the pepper, and it's gotten more enjoyable. The floral nature of the initial bite and heat is dissipating into something else, but it's really making me salivate. I thought this was going to go straight to my ears and give me like a 2 to 4 alarm ear fire, but they're not ringing yet. They might here shortly. No sweat yet either, which is a surprise because the heat on this one's good. Actually, it's starting to permeate back to the ear. I can feel, oh yeah, Skunk Red's got some heat to it. Some surprising heat to it, only because I've never had it before. And I've only had the M.A. Wartrix variant. I haven't had the true M.A. Wartrix, which I believe is half of the heritage of this, apart from the 7-pot Cardi, which I would question if that's a real strain based upon information that's been put out there from Cardi as to which strains are Cardi strains and which are not, but I'm not a professor. Wow, that is some serious heat. I can put the Skunk Red up against my Hobbs Mystery Pepper anytime. I thought my Hobbs mystery pepper was hot, but maybe I haven't had enough other crosses, strains, things of that nature that like this. It's a serious pepper. This is not a recommended pepper for all people to chow down like the pepper Wolverine just did, because that's got some serious heat. It's gotten so hot, I can't tell if it's still building or if it's plateaued. It's left a very pleasant flavor in the mouth, that's for sure. But simultaneously, while I'm telling you it's pleasant here, it's made its way down my digestive tract, and I can already tell that this will not be an easy one on the digestive system 20-30 minutes from now. This will probably be a mediocre to severe cramping pepper. Could be wrong. But I can kind of sense that already. So it's one hell of a pepper. Gage, thanks for sending that to me. And while I'm sitting here letting this settle in, we can look over there at the Hobbs mystery pepper. Not that that's the point of the review, but it's a beauty in and of itself, because that's in a 1 gallon AeroGrow being fed off a 1 gallon AeroVoire feeding reservoir. And this thing is 3 feet tall by 3 feet wide by 6 feet long. I have not pruned it at all, not a single time in the 185 days it's been in here, and the couple other days is in another one. I pulled about 20 peppers off of it. It's got about 50 peppers on it now. A couple of nice ones. A couple that we can actually probably pull off. Show those to you as well. Some gunmetal black. Brownish black gunmetal. Hard to see in this lighting, so sorry about that. But they're extremely hot and mean. It's not a nice pepper to eat. It's not pleasant. It burns like putting coals on your tongue. The pepper's plateaued at this point in time. It's attacked the entire tongue. Has resided itself to the back of the tongue, heading into the throat. You'd think it has almost like a scorpion type heritage in it, and that it has that stinging sensation that a scorpion would give to you, much like the scorpion, hence its name. That's why it was originally called the scorpion, because of the type of bite that heat gives you. This is one hell of a pepper. I'll tell you what, I wish I had a lot of these. This would make probably the hottest sauce I can make if I had enough of them. So I'll take the second pepper that Gage gave me, and I'll pull the seeds off of that, and this will be a grow out for next season for sure. That's a hell of a pepper. If someone's looking for extreme heat and a pretty good flavor, the Skunk Red is a good one. And from what Gage told me, he got that as a live plant from Jim Duffy at Refining Fire Chilies. I'm pretty sure we'll have that again next season. I know he's got seeds for it and a chocolate version of it already. If you're looking for something hot, that's a good one to grow. So, hey Gage, thanks for sharing that with me. It's a good pepper. The initial forefront of the floral flavor I didn't care for, but it did subside into the fruity type flavor, and that is the after flavor also that's left in my mouth that I do enjoy, and it's got a nice extreme amount of heat. This pepper is not for everyone. If habaneros are hot for you, don't even think about trying this one. This is for fresh eating. It's only for a select few. For other uses, for powders, hot sauces, maybe pickling, other things. For fresh eating, this is not a fresh eating pepper for everybody. But I'll tell you what, that's a hell of a pepper. Hey guys, this has been a Pepper Wolverine review with my new shirt. Thanks for tuning in. We'll do it again soon. Take care. Have a good evening.